talking about the top 15 and talking about the guys at the top end of the division, I have to pick your brains on the title fight next Saturday night in your division between Islam Makhachev and Arman Tsarukyan at UFC 311. Just your initial read on that fight and how you kind of see that one going.
Yeah, I kind of forgot it was happening. Somebody asked me that yesterday, and I was like, man, my head has been so far up my own rear end because I've been in a camp for 4 months, just hoping and waiting and worrying about,
Mhm.
am I going to get something? I forgot it was next weekend. Yeah, it's a great fight. I think just the knee jerk response is Islam because I mean I know Arman gave him fits the first time, and he is stylistically a tough fight, but it's just hard to pick against Islam right now. I think even if you watch the Poirier fight, it's one of my favorite fighters, but I think he had some success on the feet, but Islam was winning. Like I think it was more so shock factor. We're all grading on a curve because he's so good
Yeah.
that if it's even close on the feet, we're like, oh look, he's gonna
Mm.
upset him. It's like I don't think he won a round. Maybe he won one round. So I think it's just his time. So knee jerk response is definitely Islam.
If you had to give me a key to victory for each fighter, what would be the key to victory for Islam to have success and the key to victory for Arman to have success?
I mean, I would imagine Arman putting him on his back. I don't think Islam's great off his back. I think he's a great grappler. I'm sure he has a decent game there, but it's not where he chooses to be. I don't know that it's the worst idea for Islam to stay on the feet until he
Mm.
tires him out. Um, so just again, just thinking all off the cuff, I think that's probably what I would say.
100%. Um, there is a certain featherweight champion, Ilia Topuria, who is threatening a move up to your division in 155. How do you think Topuria would fit in at the top of the lightweight division?
I mean, skill wise, he fits in as good as anybody, right? I don't know how his counter wrestling would be with like Islam, but I guess the question would be how big is he? How big is the size difference going to be? Because he doesn't seem like the biggest guy, his frame or even his height. And obviously, that hasn't mattered at 45, but it would be interesting to see if that would be a problem for him, especially because I feel like Islam's so physical.
Mm.
That's a big jump, and he's also big for the weight class. So now you're talking about a guy that would not be big for 55, I'm sure. Maybe he'd be an average 55er. His skills are tremendous, but that'd be interesting. I think it'd be cool to see. It'd be fun to kind of mix it up. It would be kind of crappy for the guys that are waiting in the wings for that title shot in the top five, but they've been recycling guys so much that it would be no different than throwing any of the other guys back in there for the title. So I'd like to see it.
We're right at the start of 2025, but obviously 2024, the big debate for fighter of the year was between Topuria and his weight that he did at 145, and obviously Alex Pereira the weight that he did at 205. Who did you label out of those two fighters as your fighter of the year?
I don't know. I never really thought about it. Yeah, I watched all their fights. It's hard to say. I guess it's not Topuria after beating Volkanovski, who's been so dominant.
Mm.
But man, I guess Pereira's just been so active for a champion. It's hard to. He's at least probably the fan fighter of the year. You know what I mean? Because usually a champion, you're lucky if you see him twice a year. But how many times we get to see him over and over and over again? So his stock probably went up more than anything. So I guess I'd pick Pereira.
We'll turn the conversation back to you for my last question. You can, I think I've asked you this a couple of times, Joe, so you might expect what's coming here, but you can be as brief or as detailed as you like. Give me a walkthrough of your perfect fight day on Saturday night as you envisage it. Morning to night, talk me through what the perfect day looks like.
Go out there and back him up. You know what I mean? I want to land hard shots, keep my feet under me, and unnerve him right away with speed and power. And then as soon as we settle in, if we can get settled in against anybody, I'm going to take me every single time. And I think that's anywhere it goes. If I keep him off my hips, great. If we go to the ground, great. I think I pose a lot of problems there. Anywhere the fight's going to go. The only thing we don't want to do is let him come out and establish a crazy wild, reckless game plan right away, right? I just want a fight to unfold, and that would be putting the pace on him for 15 minutes. I think I could do that, and I wouldn't be surprised if I hurt him on the feet, and I would not be surprised if I put him on his back and give him a hard time there. So that would, I guess it's kind of two options. It's not really a perfect fight, but I think the perfect answer is just pressuring.
I love it. Well, Joe, it was a welcome surprise to look on Instagram. I think it was Saturday evening my time and see that your fight was announced. Always good to see you back in action. Have a great and safe rest of camp, and best of luck for the fight on Saturday night.
And thanks so much. Great talking with you. I appreciate it.